The month of February. All right, the month of February. Let's talk about it. The first thing we're going to talk about is the planetary aspects that are happening, and then after we talk about that, or I give you those dates, thank you. Then we'll go into the individual rising signs, and we'll be talking about where the sun and the new moon is going to be highlighting, where the full moon will be falling, and we'll talk about where Venus will be impacting you for this month. So, as always, my astrological content is primarily geared towards your rising sign, which I always suggest if you are going to consume any type of astrological content, you want to be listening for your rising sign first. You also may hear it as your ascendant. Next, you want to listen for your sun sign, and you can also listen for your moon sign. If you listen for all three of these signs, this will give you a well-rounded overview of the energies that will be impacting you, and you'll be able to recognize when those energies are impacting your rising sign, your sun sign more, or your moon sign. And again, your moon sign is going to be reflective of what is happening to you on an internal level. Your rising sign is what is astrologically happening in real time for you. And your sun sign is more of those general things that are going on with you. All right. Does anyone have any questions? Before I forget, if you do not have your rising sign, you can go online and you can Google it at, you can put in free birth chart calculator or free natal chart calculator. Just choose one. Doesn't matter which one you choose. You're going to enter your date of birth, your place of birth, and most importantly, your time of birth. Please make sure the time of birth is correct, because this is going to determine what your rising sign is, which is very, very important. Now, you can go ahead and do that. Starting off the month on February the 5th, Mercury, the sign of communication, transportation, and all those things that have everything to do of the exchange of information, it's going to go into the sign of Aquarius. So with Mercury going into the sign of Aquarius, this is going to be conversations geared around technology. We're going to have a lot of conversations geared around innovation, a lot of conversations geared around moving forward, because Aquarius represents how we're moving forward in the world. So a lot of conversations around our long-term goals, what we see for ourselves, our desires, things of that nature will occupy the exchange of information that we have going on. The next thing is going to be on February the 6th, the asteroid Pallas, Pallas, enters into the sign of Sagittarius. And I think this year for me, I'm going to get more into researching and inputting some of the asteroids into my content. But the asteroid Pallas is entering into Sagittarius. And what this will do is this will kind of ignite for some people a really broader view on their beliefs. Okay, since we're entering into the sign of Sagittarius, this will be you opening up your mind to your new belief system, how you see the world. This could open up some of us to different ways of worshiping, new philosophies around religion. This could also ignite a desire for learning. So education could be on the agenda with regards to this asteroid. On February the 9th, our new moon, which is representative of new beginnings, this is where we want to plant our seeds of intention. This is where we want to start our manifestations, will be in the sign of Aquarius. Keep in mind, Aquarius is about innovation, forward thinking, forward movement. This is an air sign, so this is all about the mind. So for me, with you doing your intentions around with the energy of the new moon, this is going to be a lot of speaking your intentions into existence, and also writing down your intentions into existence. This will support you on bringing those things into fruition. So as we move forward with the content for this year, depending on where the new moon and what sign it's going into, I will let you know what would be the best way to do manifestation. So because it's in Aquarius of the mind, let's write down our intentions. Let's speak our intentions into existence around this new moon. February the 13th, Mars the planet of initiative, the planet of passion and drive and moving forward. It's going to enter into the sign of Aquarius. February the 16th, Venus, our smallest benefic planet, which represents love, money, creature comforts, all the things that we consider things that we love, beauty, aesthetics, all of that will be entering into the sign of Aquarius. On February the 18th, the sun will leave the sign of Aquarius and move into the sign of Pisces. So February the 18th, we get a change and we go into Pisces season. February the 23rd, Mercury leaves the sign of Aquarius and goes into the sign of Pisces. Now, Mercury in the sign of Pisces is not necessarily the best placement for Mercury, because Mercury is the planet of the mind, and Mercury is the planet of the details. So Mercury wants to know everything there is to know about any and everything. It is very particular about the information that it receives, the information that it puts out, the exchange of information, and it wants to know how everything works in great detail. Now, when you take a planet that is so analytical like this and you enter it into the sign that is like Pisces. First of all, Pisces is a water sign. And for me, Pisces is the most intuitive, imaginative, and dreamy sign of the zodiac. So those two things don't particularly work well together, because Mercury is all about what are the details in this thing that we're trying to come up with, and Pisces is like, I don't have any details. It's all in my mind. It's all in my imagination. I don't know how we're going to get there. I just know, I feel like this is a good idea. I feel like this is the direction that we should be going in. So Pisces is all about the feeling, about the imagination, and Mercury is about the details. So again, Mercury doesn't really do its best in this sign, but it is here, and that's where we are. So for me, I would advise you not to make a lot of major decisions around this time, because again, it's just not, there's no clarity there. Unless you're someone that is very intuitive and you're going to listen to your gut, and you do better when you listen to your gut, I would say that's great for you. But if you're someone that's very analytical, needs all the details in front of you, February may not be the best month for you to be making those types of decisions. Someone says, I have a dream, LOL. Yes, Martin Luther King, I have a dream. And Pisces actually is the sign of dreams. So we want to be careful, what we're doing and initiating around this time. And the final pass will be on February the 24th. The full moon will go into the sign of Virgo. So the full moon is about endings, adjustments, acknowledgments. It's also about the revelation of things that we need to see, because the moon will be at its brightest when it's full. This will be a time where you can get some clarity or get some vision, or you can get some knowledge of a situation that may have kept you in the dark, quote unquote. So this is going to be around the sign of Virgo. You don't like when someone said, I don't like when the moon is in Virgo. You don't like when the moon is in Virgo? The emotions get real critical. I have a Virgo moon, and I know how I process my emotions, and everything is very critical and overanalyzed. So I kind of understand what you're talking about with that full moon going into Virgo. So does anyone get into the individual rising sign? So once I get to your rising sign, if it is your rising sign, please put it in the comments so I'll know who I'm talking to on this live. And we're going to get started. We're going to start at the top of the zodiac, as I always do, with Aries. Where are we now? Sagittarius rising, sun or moon. Where's my Sagittarius rising? I hope she's still on here. If you're Sagittarius rising, your sun, your Venus, and your new moon is going to be impacting your third house, the communication house. So with all of this energy being there, this is going to be great for strengthening your communication abilities. So communicating more effectively. Some of you could be thinking about starting some type of marketing campaign, especially if you're a business owner. This could have you thinking about revamping your strategy with regards to your business. So you could be getting a website. You could be getting more marketing material, deciding to put your business out there more. With this Venus being there, this could bring in some new customers to my business owners. Some of you could be thinking about going back to school, which I would support that definitely for my Sagittarius rising. However, it does not have to be a long-term educational pursuit. Keep in mind, the third house is typically about shorter educational pursuits. So I would always say anything that's 2 years or less, you could be thinking about educating yourself on, especially if it's something that makes you more marketable at your current job. All right. This can also look like a change in your neighborhood. So maybe some of you are getting new neighbors. There are changes with regards to how your neighborhood looks. Some of you may be thinking about moving. Could be. But then you can also just be beautifying your space around your home. So doing landscaping, changing that up, planting flowers, whatever that looks like for you to beautify your home and have it more curb appeal to your home. This could also have you having time spent with your siblings and extended family, especially if you're entertaining at home. I would support you guys entertaining at home, your siblings, your cousins, your extended family. Some of you could be doing something with your neighbors or your neighborhoods. I don't know if you're doing a community garage sale, or you guys are doing something like like I said, a community garage sale, or you're taking a more active role in your HOA in some way. But somehow your neighborhood could be tied to you a lot during the month of February. Now, this could bring on the need or desire for a new vehicle. So just letting you know, you could be thinking about getting a new car, changing up your vehicle, changing up your modes of transportation. But I think this has a lot to do with schooling. And remember, school doesn't always have to be something that's just serious. Even if you just wanted to learn a new hobby or something, you could be educating yourself on something. And I don't know who this is for. If you are a Sagittarius rising, contract negotiation could come up. You could be signing for something this month. And I think this is a good time for you to do it. I don't know what that means, but that's for you. Also, your full moon is going to be in your 10th house. So we're talking about changes in your career life. So this may be what that educational pursuit is. That could be what that educational pursuit is. So some of you could be changing up your career path, looking for a new job, anticipating a promotion in some way. But it may look like in order for you to get this promotion, you have to have a certain accreditation or certification, or you need to go back to school to get skills in something in order to obtain this particular position. Now, this could also look like a higher up in your company leaving. So I don't know if they're just going to be leaving the company entirely, or they'll be transitioning to another department and you don't see that person, like you do on an everyday basis. Now, some of you are going to say, well, I'm retired. I'm no longer in the workforce. This could also look like you're standing in the public, what you're known for. Even your standing in your family and how you operate in your family. Or are you someone that, your family members come to for advice? Are you someone that your family members come to for money? But this could also represent how you show up with regards to your family, with regards to groups or organizations that you are part of. There was something else I needed to say about this house. Sagittarius rising. Pay attention. Again, this is a parental house. So pay attention to the prominent men or your parents with regards to that. I think that was it. If I think about what it is, I'll come back to it. But there was something about this 10th house that I couldn't remember. I'll come back to it. So, see you in the next video. Bye-bye.